Aren't you? Oh, Stanley. Hi.
Cena sporting a seashell bra. Matt Damon plays Loki. Today on Collider, we're looking at some of the most unexpected, funny, and outrageous cameos in film history. Ray Romano is perhaps best known for his leading role in the hit sitcom Everybody Loves Raymond.
I tried, Deborah. God help me, I tried to like it.
But one of his most unexpected appearances happens during 2009's Funny People. Funny People chronicles the life of George Simmons, a highly successful comedian who's been diagnosed with leukemia. It's one of Sandler's most interesting roles, as it allows him to interact with a variety of actors and other celebrities. And one of them is Eminem. During a quiet dinner with the artist formerly known as Slim Shady, they notice Romano looking at them.
Ray Romano, the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond?
While he's having dinner with Simmons' assistant joke writer Ira Wright. This causes Eminem to loudly berate Romano, while insinuating some rather graphic imagery. It turns out that not everybody loves Raymond after all.
Ray Romano's bothering you?
Who?
Another comedian who showed up when people least expected him to is Bill Murray during Zombieland. Zombieland, as the title implies, takes a rather satirical look at the zombie apocalypse. In their quest to find safe haven, survivors Columbus, Tallahassee, Wichita, and Little Rock wind up taking refuge in Murray's abandoned mansion. There, Tallahassee runs into Murray, who's been faking being a zombie to stay alive.
You know, some berries, a little licorice for the ladies.
Unfortunately, it's good enough to fool Columbus, who fatally wounds the Ghostbusters alum. Ironically, he and Little Rock were actually watching the first Ghostbusters film before this happened. As Murray lays dying, he's asked if he has any regrets, to which he replies,
Garfield, maybe?
This is probably a reference to the fact that he signed onto the animated Garfield film thinking the Coen brothers were attached.
Who would want that kind of exposure?
When in reality, Joel Coen wrote the script. Zombieland writers Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese revealed that Murray wasn't their first choice. They wanted Patrick Swayze, then went down a list that included Mark Hamill, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Sylvester Stallone, and Matthew McConaughey. We never asked the likes of Bill Murray because we figured we'd never get Bill Murray. He's the toughest get in Hollywood, Reese told MTV. But thanks to timing and some hasty faxes,
That's why we do it.
they got Murray.
Boy, who's Bill Murray?
Steven Spielberg's Hook might be one of the most criminally underappreciated movies in his filmography. It's often derided as being saccharine and heavy-handed, but is actually a rather touching update to the legend of Peter Pan. That the late, great Robin Williams plays Peter is only the cherry on top, as Williams is surrounded by top-tier talent including Maggie Smith as Wendy, Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell, and Dustin Hoffman as his nemesis Captain Hook. But there's one A-lister you might have missed, Glenn Close. Close appears as a pirate who finds himself at the receiving end of Hook's wrath, as he believes one of his crew convinced Peter back to Neverland.
I did. Yes.
The poor pirate is thrown into a wooden box with nothing but scorpions to keep them company. The reason why you might not have noticed Close's cameo is that she was sporting makeup that transformed her into a masculine figure, including a thick beard and bushy eyebrows. According to an interview Close conducted with The Scotsman, this was a spur-of-the-moment decision. I had visited the set of Hook because Robin Williams, who starred as Peter Pan, was a friend of mine, and took along my little girl, Annie, who was about 3 years old. And when we got there, Steven Spielberg said, "Do you want to be pirate?" And I said, "Sure." So I got a beard and costume, and the script girl came on to me. She thought I was man. In fact, nobody guessed I was a woman for 3 days. I'm pretty proud of that. It wasn't the only blink and you'll miss it cameo in Hook. Star Wars creator George Lucas and Carrie Fisher appear as a couple locked in an embrace that heads for the sky when fairy dust gets sprinkled over them.
Oh, look, stars.
That's right, Peter.
Stan Lee rose to prominence as one of the co-creators of the Marvel Universe. He helped bring iconic characters like Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men into the world. Later, as superhero movie franchises like 20th Century Fox's X-Men films and the Marvel Cinematic Universe took off, Lee could be counted on to provide brief yet hilarious cameos. But the self-proclaimed Generalissimo would turn up in a place where comic fans least expected. The Princess Diaries 2: Royal Engagement. When the nation of Genovia is inviting foreign dignitaries from all over the world, Lee shows up as a dignitary who apparently learned English from watching The Three Stooges.
I do better if you and I get married.
It turns out that Lee had struck up a friendship with director Jerry Marshall, and Marshall invited him to cameo on set one day. Considering that Disney would acquire Marvel 5 years later, the timing seems rather fortuitous in hindsight. But The Princess Diaries 2 isn't the only non-Marvel movie Lee has appeared in. He briefly appears in Mallrats to give Brody, Jason Lee, some much-needed relationship advice, and even quips that Brody is too hung up on superheroes' sex lives when Brody asks him if the Fantastic Four's Ben Grimm is, shall we say, anatomically correct.
It's a superhero secret.
Lee would later appear in another Disney film, Big Hero 6, though this one was actually based on a Marvel comic.
I wear 'em front. I wear 'em back.
He even managed to lampoon his various cameos in Teen Titans Go to the Movies, saying, "I don't care what it is, I love cameos. Excelsior."
This is a DC movie?
It took a while, but Stan Lee finally made a cameo in a DC movie.
Oh, gee, I gotta get out of here.
Matt Damon's carved out an impressive filmography, whether it's working on the Jason Bourne films, joining a all-star cast in Ocean's 11, or starring alongside his longtime friend Ben Affleck. But one of his biggest roles came when he showed up toward the end of Interstellar. In Christopher Nolan's sci-fi Odyssey, Damon plays Dr. Mann, a brilliant scientist who traveled into the stars to find inhabitable planets after Earth starts to become uninhabitable. However, the mission was a ruse, as there was no life to be found, and Mann grew quite mad after being isolated, to the point of outright committing murder so that he could get home.
This is about all mankind.
It was a shocking turn from Damon, and that's how Nolan wanted it. "I really love the idea for an audience to go, when they see him, 'Oh, it's Matt Damon, it's going to be okay,'" he told the Inquirer. "Matt has the most amazing ability to project integrity and warmth. So, he turns up in the film, and he's got a plan, and it's all going to be okay."
Somebody would come and save me.
In Thor Ragnarok, Matt Damon makes another, this time humorous cameo as an Asgardian actor portraying Loki in a theatrical reenactment of events from Thor: The Dark World.
Build a statue for me.
This play is orchestrated by Loki himself, who is disguised as Odin and ruling Asgard. The scene unfolds when Thor returns to Asgard after defeating the fire demon Surtur and discovers this dramatization glorifying Loki's supposed heroism. The play also features Luke Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth's brother, as the actor playing Thor, and Sam Neill as the actor playing Odin. Damon's cameo was arranged through his friendship with Chris Hemsworth and director Taika Waititi, who pitched the idea to him. Damon found the concept of an intergalactic community theater actor fulfilling Loki's fantasy to be hilarious and agreed to participate. Damon would later reprise his role as Theater Loki in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yes, to planet Asgard.
Joined by Melissa McCarthy doing her own impression of Hela. They really love theater in Asgard.
I broke your hammer!
Barbie has one of the most star-studded casts in recent film history. Not only does Margot Robbie play Barbie and Ryan Gosling play Ken, but there are appearances from Issa Rae, Simu Liu, America Ferrera, Will Ferrell, and Michael Cera as Alan. The biggest surprise surrounds the mermaids in Barbie World. One of those mermaids is Cena, rocking a seashell bra and tail in addition to his usual rippling pecs.
Hi, Barbie.
According to Cena, his agency advised him not to do the role as it was apparently beneath him, but anyone who's seen his movie roles knows he's not above poking fun at himself.
They're just going on what they know.
Cena told Howard Stern.
And what they know is this entity, this commodity,
Good to see you, big bro.
gravitates towards these things. We should stay in this lane.
Which means
I'm not a commodity, I'm a human being. Every opportunity is an opportunity.
The timing was also perfect, as he was filming Fast X in the same studio as Barbie, and Robbie approached him for the role.
All audiences enjoy.
You just have to love these surprise cameos. Not only do they go against the grain, but they provide laughs and show that the people involved have talent worth utilizing in any film.